Hi, welcome to the Headbangers Podcast, episode 4. I'm Brad.
I'm Nathan.
And sorry it took so long, we're on our way to kill your Anonymous.
Yeah. Sneaky fucker Varg.
Beat us to it.
Oh, you know what? You know who we passed on the way there?
Who?
Who was it on base? I was going to kill your Anonymous. We covered it in the last
Necro
episode.
Butcher.
Yeah, we passed Necro Butcher. I don't know why he were there though.
We're going to race him actually, we had a £5 bet.
Yeah.
Turns out none of us won, and it was indeed Varg.
They bet whoever won is true cult, and sadly neither of us won.
Drink your chocolate milk. You know the reference. We're sorry that we've been so long. We get busy doing stuff. Obviously, we have jobs. And
we've both got full-time jobs.
Yeah.
And plus, we did record an episode.
We just didn't.
To be frank, we didn't think it was the best product.
Yeah.
We thought we were, not gonna lie, we did think it was a bit shit, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly.
We watched it back and we were all like, we're not gonna release something that we ourselves don't like. So we just went fuck it, and we just decided best just scrap it and then move on to the next one.
And we ain't gonna lie to you guys. You know what? We're honest people.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I was too opinionated, and we just came off really shit.
You opinionated?
I know. No, but it did really just come off a bit shit, didn't it? But especially after episode 3, how good episode 3 actually was.
Exactly.
I felt like we thought it wasn't improving. It was just being like just shit.
And we're going to read something that's whack. So yeah. But yeah, here we are again. So we're going to kick off. We've got a double album review for you today, guys.
Yeah, we've got a double album review. We're going to be covering some news.
The usual.
Big topics back as well. Big topics back. It had been in the last one, but guess what? We're bringing it back
again. So we thought we'd review 2 albums this time. So there's been 2 big releases recently. One being from Mayhem with Daemon, and one from Fit for an Autopsy. Give us that name there.
Sea of Tragic Beasts.
Sea of Tragic Beasts.
Yeah, Sea of Tragic Beasts.
So that's there. So we got a bit of deathcore, a bit of black metal, because we thought we'd treat you, because it's near Christmas time.
Quite a varied, sort of lineup.
Exactly. And like I said, it's near Christmas time, and me and Nathan are all about giving. So
yeah, giving and taking. Well,
there we go.
I've got a fucking ache in my neck. But my neck's like fully spazzing out, and my ears
are. Damnation before I done with it. Again. Damnation was very good, by the way.
I think I'm getting an ear infection, Fucking hurt, man.
People feel like your fucking neck, mate.
1 second.
Put a plaster on your wet wipe. Okay, so let's kick it off with Mayhem then. So, for those that don't know Mayhem, it formed in 1984. They're basically the band that started it all. When I say started it all, obviously there was Venom, there was
black metal.
Yeah, there was Venom, there was Celtic Frost. There was a few bands that influenced it, but I'd say Mayhem was the first band to really kick it off with that first wave. Incredibly influential, incredibly controversial. I saw them at Damnation, and they basically fucked up the sound. Necro Butcher wasn't happy because he threw a can across the stage. But I'll kind of wish the sounds better.
This sound isn't true cult. What are you doing?
I just feel sorry for, like we were saying on the bus, I feel sorry for the sound engineer.
She's watching that.
1 minute I got to stab this guy. But yeah, so...
Well, they didn't have time to finish it off, the sound engineer. They're also on the way to kill you.
Yeah, exactly. He was already on his fucking joggers, mate. He was ready to go kill you on us as well. So, starts off, let's just be honest, it fucking kick-starts. It doesn't mess about. Yeah. There's no dark, atmospheric intro.
The Dying False King is like straight up, sets the tone for the album.
Exactly.
And it's just fast-paced guitars, however, still being somehow mostly atmospheric. You do find that it has very fast tones, but then somehow stays atmospheric, which is quite good.
Exactly, and I think that's always what Mayhem has been good at. I mean, to be honest, with Mayhem, I've kind of been off and on the ball with it. Obviously, The Mysterious Don Satanus, I'll just butcher that name, but yeah, that is monumental, great album, great all the way through. But then they've released a few albums after that when I just can't really get into it personally. But this one, I felt like it was a return to form, but there's also some interesting stuff in this album. For example, with Worms and Ruins, You know, it's got that intensity that Mayhem was so good at, and I feel like there's some drum fills that obviously complement the guitars. Everything just flows well. Like, even if some songs are straight blast beat all the way through, because the guitars are always changing and always like there's like a new riff after every section. Like it doesn't feel like it doesn't drag on to me. Like it feels like it flows quite nicely. Then of Worms and Ruins, it kind of introduces. It's quite funny I should say this, and I don't think Mayhem would going to say this, but there's some like keyboard sort of synth in there, and it sounds a bit like Burzum. So, sorry guys, but it does sound a bit like it.
Just triggered.
Please don't stop it.
One highlight for me were, Malign.
Yeah, that's one of my favourites.
It feels slow at first, which kind of does help break up the album, because at that point you just hear fast. And then you get this sort of beginning bit that's nice and slow, so it immediately tells you, oh, this might be a bit different.
Yeah.
And it just goes straight back into it, straight back into the fast play style. That you've got kind of used to at this point, where it is in the album. Also, I've just got to give props. Whoever mixed and mastered this, needs an award.
It is the best sounding black metal album.
No, because like whoever did this, he put in loads of creepy especially in this song, he put like loads of little creepy moans and screams. I don't know if you heard it. We put loads of them in, and I thought it just added to the overall like creepiness sort of feel that there's that song, as well as the atmospheric sort of part. So yeah. Whoever mixed and mastered this did a fucking fantastic job.
Yeah, there's like that song when it sounds like two orcs having a conversation, like
but
just goes straight into it.
In Malign, you just listen sometimes when the vocals hit. There's no vocals. It just hears like this ghoulish sort of fucking scream.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it's really well mastered, and especially when you compare this to any other material, like it's like a completely different band. And you would have thought because they're always against like. Sounding good. Like it's potato quality or nothing, mate. But on this, it's like okay, we're gonna just go.
I think the novelty for black metal sounding shit has now kind of worn off.
Yeah, no, it has. And I get why. Like I get why it sounded the way it did, and I get the kind of premise behind it. But I think
just needed to evolve a little bit.
Yeah, it needed to evolve, especially in this day and age.
Especially when you got bands like Behemoth, they're basically doing black and death metal. And they're doing it way better than most death metal.
Even your boy Abba, you know what I mean? Like he's got some good production on his self-titled albums, and it works. And it shows that you don't always need bad production to create like atmosphere.
A good, black metal sort of album.
Again, I get why, but
I feel like that's the one biggest complaint I get from people who don't like black metal. No, I don't like it because it's made to sound shit. I don't like stuff that sounds shit.
I didn't get it at first, but I do get it. I think it's nice to hear Mayhem, what it would be like if it was better produced.
Yeah, and I feel like in this album we've actually got to have that option. Like
exactly.
Kind of listen to it and go, oh, this is what they sound like. They sound great.
Yeah, you've got the option to hear what Mayhem would sound like if it was better produced. And
100%.
I got to admit, it works and I like it.
Yeah, I quite liked it. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Well, not funny. I thought it was good.
A good album. So also, there's also an introduction of. Have you noticed like the kind of like the dark operatic sort of chanting voices?
I have a little bit in my review on this. I had a little bit on my review about it. Yeah, I noticed that it was like.
I know. It's like his like voice has had some like bipolar in there. Like it was just
I don't think it was him though. I think it was some kind of opera singer.
I think it's that all.
It's just in the background. It sounded way different.
If it's not, it's a different vocal approach, but I like it. I mean, it changes it up again because as we're going to speak about Fit for an Autopsy as well, both deathcore and black metal, it's very like constrained to the genres. Like they don't want to play out the ballpark a bit sometimes.
Yeah. I think it's just because the fans are kind of the ones to read. But the thing is with black metal fans, any like alternative sort of scene. Once a band changes something because they don't like it, because it's different and they're not used to it, they immediately don't like it because it's different.
Thrash is the same as well.
Exactly. But the minute you get a band that does it, I feel like it does shine through a lot better because then you kind of go, fuck, this is what it could be like if we put this shit in. And that's when new genres are born. And I think that's why the scene at the minute, there's no boom of different genres because everyone's kind of done everything they could really think of, but no one wants to mix those.
And
together.
You know what? Like for the first wave band like Mayhem, like they especially. People won't want them to go out of the ballpark. Like, it's probably like a thing when it's like, they get criticised for it because they've got that sound and people don't want that to change. It's like you created this genre, you need to stick in that genre. And like, even themselves, I think they thought when they first started, we need to stick to this, like, but then they thought, right up, let's mix it up a bit now. Like, and I think now, because so much time's passed, it works. The last album was a tiny bit different, but like not like this.
Well, you got to think there's a perfect example of a band that purposely wanted to change things up and got shit for it. Metallica.
Yeah.
Perfect example of a band that literally wanted to change shit, and they did, and then people hit him for it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so I think you do get. It's just that's the way things are because people. It's not what they're used to. They don't like it.
Exactly.
And they immediately think it's shit.
But I'm liking the almost symphonic style. Like obviously there's no orchestra and stuff, but like with the added keyboards and with the dark operatic voice,
it really adds to the atmosphere.
Yeah, I felt like I was in a trance for a lot of it. Like it really captivates you, and I was proper enjoying it. Any other songs that you want to comment on? Bad Blood, another good one.
Aeon, Daemon,
metal.
Definitely the most atmospheric out of all the songs on that album. It's just fucking always good. I'm just saying, there's quite a few. I've got quite a lot of notes, but in the entire like kind of conclusion, I feel because we can sit here and talk about it all day.
Yeah.
But
because we've got 2 albums to review.
We've got 2 albums to review. But it is something different. It's something really refreshing to hear from a band this old and this influential. So it is something really good to hear from this, and it's just it's like I said, it's just refreshing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
up in the production. Like there's some nice riffs in there, and I'll be honest, like I think it's probably my favourite Mayhem album since The Mischievous, and it takes a lot because that's such a monumental album. But for this much time to pass, and considering the rest of the material, I think this one I've come back to quite a few times since I've listened to it. And it's almost doomy at some stages. Like obviously the drumming is always on point with Mayhem, and like I said, even if it's a straight blast beat, the guitars are always there to change things up so it doesn't get stale.
100%. 100%. The one criticism I'd have of the album is maybe it's a bit too long.
No,
do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a point where it should have ended and it didn't, and it just carried on for like 2 extra songs, and you kind of just sit there going, it's kind of getting repetitive.
There was a few. It's not that it should have ended. It should have ended a bit earlier, but I think like certain songs maybe shouldn't have been in there.
Yeah,
like they've introduced new styles. There's some songs that sound like traditional black metal, but I think because I do like Of Worms and Ruins, and that's one of the last songs on there, and that is a good almost like second half song. But I think it's just if you remove some songs, it might not have dragged so much.
That's the problem I had. I just felt like it went on a bit too long. Like I said to you on the bus, it's like I kind of had to go away for a second, and listen to a couple other songs and then come back because it kind of just got a bit too much for me. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I was kind of like, how many songs?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like that sort of thing.
Yeah. But it's an interesting release for Mayhem, and I do hope that they continue to experiment because they've already made that monumental album, and they've already made the place in black metal. So from now on, they don't really have anything to prove anymore. So let's hope that they just continue from there.
Yeah.
So what would you rate
it? 3 out of 4. Yeah, on its way to kill Euronymous.
3 out of 5.
Yeah, 3 out of 5. On its way to kill Euronymous.
Yeah, I'd say 4 out of 5. Good release. Interesting to hear what they're going to come up with next.
It'd be interesting. Be interesting to even think maybe they are. If they are even releasing another album, maybe this might have been the last.
True, yeah.
Hurrah!
It's almost like what I said before. Like, technically, got nothing to prove anymore. Like, they've made the way. They don't need to create any more money with albums. Like, they've pretty much like took off black metal. So, and there's so many bands that want to be Mayhem. So, again, feel free.
I feel
to
like
take
they've achieved everything they wanted to achieve.
They've achieved everything, yeah.
Like when they first started.
Exactly.
Now,
let's get on to
my favourite one. You know what? This actually, you know, like I said, like Artist Murder was one of my favourite deathcore albums this year. You know what? It was almost enough to blow it off that point. Like straight up this
really?
album, yeah. So next album, you probably already guessed. The next album review is Fit for an Autopsy, A Sea of Monsters. Did I just get that wrong?
Yeah, it's a Sea of Tragic Beasts.
Sea of Tragic Beasts. Sorry.
Sorry, Fit for an Autopsy.
It's completely.
It's been a good year for deathcore.
Oh yeah, it's been a really.
You've had like
and hardcore.
Well, I'd established the big four of deathcore, which is like Fit for an Autopsy, Die Art, Carnifex, and Whitechapel. All released really good albums.
Yeah, they've all like kind of come out of the woodwork, haven't they? And just released absolute bangers. Like. And they've also changed a lot of them have also sent out like songs that are completely different to the previous album, that's been completely different to the previous album. Like Whitechapel going for a slower sort of feel and a more of a emotional sort of sound.
Exactly, like they've most of them have like changed up the sound, and it's working.
You know what? After hearing this Fit for an Autopsy album, though, I genuinely think, and this is my honest thought, that a lot of deathcore bands now need to step up their game.
Yeah, they do.
After hearing this album, I was like, this is something so refreshing. And it's exactly what the genre needed.
Exactly.
Like, we were joking, it was like if Conjurer went deathcore.
Oh, yeah, it's a massive homage to Gojira. Like, I mean, it goes without saying, they didn't have to come out and say that they're inspired by Gojira. But, like, some of the riffing and the vocals... and even some of the slow, doomy sections remind me of Gojira.
I love this album. I genuinely did. Sea of Tragic Beasts. Yeah, immediately, as soon as you get into it,
some nice harmonies.
It's some nice harmonies, and it perfectly sets the tone of what this album's going to be. It's going to be fast, and your traditional sort of deathcore sound, but it's also going to be something different. It's going to be slow, somber. And some places it will use clean vocals and then immediately switch back into the deathcore sort of vocals, and Joe does them so good.
And I gotta say, like, I think it's the first time that he's incorporated, like, I think maybe a bit of it in the last album, but I think he's really gone full force of introducing these clean vocals, and I think maybe a lot of people might be thrown off at this point, and like, does it work? Does it not? But honestly, I think it does.
Well, after the previous album, Black Mammoth, Hydra, and Heads Will Hang, all three of those songs were like amazing highlights from that album.
Yeah.
And the rest of them fell flat.
Yeah.
And now you've kind of got an album where those three songs, the elements, it was introduced in those three songs.
Yeah.
And now being very forefront in all of the songs in this album.
It's like they took him back to the drawing board and it's like, right, okay, we like what we did here. Let's see if we can execute it. And we were saying on the bus as well, I think it's such an interesting release from Fit for an Autopsy, and
it's something you wouldn't expect either. It was something that I was not expecting this.
I wasn't expecting it either. But yeah, it's Sea of Tragic Beasts when it first kicks in.
Yeah, you said Tree. See, I want the only one that fucked up the name.
We're very tired. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very good way to kickstart the album, and I think it's, again, like I said in Mayhem, it definitely sets the tone for the album.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, it's got everything that you're going to expect. Like, you've got the brutality of the deathcore that they've obviously mastered over the years. But it's like, okay, we've done this now, but here what else we've got to offer.
Yeah. It's just it's still got the breakdowns that you expect, the ones that you make your fucking face scrunch up, your hairs on your arms, stand on end.
We got to talk about Warfare, because my God.
Oh my God, that fucking song.
Yeah,
wow.
Absolutely.
It's your traditional deathcore song. It's straight up, and it breaks up. It's like, oh yeah, we're doing all this stuff, but remember, we're still
Fit for an Autopsy.
Yeah, still a deathcore band.
Because some of the, like, especially early Fit for an Autopsy, it's what made me fall in love with them, because it's just an absolute like onslaught of blast beats, breakdowns. You know, again, Joe doing his vocals top notch, like, and this, I think this song was like just. So it's like saying to the fans, "Here you go. I know we've been introducing new stuff, but you know we're still fucking fit for an autopsy. Don't forget that."
Yeah, it was. I think it was for those old fans that have been there from the beginning, saying, but probably would be on their keyboards, being like, "This is shit. Why is it so different?
Why have they changed?
Why have they changed?" And it's been kind of like, no, we are the same band.
Yeah,
we're just going in a bit of a different direction.
Especially when they released it, because the first song was Mirrors. That was the first single, and I think people might have been thrown off at that point.
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing? Because it was like quite slow. It picks up in the middle stage, and obviously like that's when the drumming and the guitars kick in, and you know it goes like full pounding of the drums and pounding. But besides that, like when it's just a massive build up.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? It was just like kind of whoa. I feel like as well, Fit for an Autopsy is still a very early band. Like, when did they release the first couple singles? It was like 2016 or something like that.
A bit before that, I think.
Maybe a bit before.
They're not. They haven't been around for too long.
They're not, and you know what? It's like Their Eyes Murder. Those bands are still finding their sound.
Exactly.
So you're gonna keep. And people who've already subscribed to this is their sound. They can't change this. Are wrong because
and these bands want to change.
Yeah, it's okay to change. It's just because you've got used to this doesn't mean it makes the other thing bad.
It's like CJ from My Art. He was like, "We're not a deathcore band." So we're death metal. Black and death metal. Yeah. So obviously they're trying to branch out. Fit for an Autopsy. You know, okay, they may have started as deathcore, but like they're like, okay, don't label us just as deathcore because we're now introducing some clean vocals. Like this album is so much more melodic than most of the releases and most of the deathcore albums that are out there.
It's also more sporadic, I think.
Yeah, it's
kind of like jump from one end of the spectrum straight to the other, then straight back to that spectrum, then straight to another spectrum, then straight back. As well, one thing I did notice, have you noticed how every song kind of feeds into the next one?
Yeah, it does.
So like you listen to the next song, it's kind of like, oh,
it's a journey.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Because you've got some slow songs, and then like I think I love the way that you've got your heavy songs, but they actually come at the end. Yeah. So it's almost like the whole album has been building up to this massive release of pure brutality.
Yeah, it kind of just goes. It's just so well made. Like it's also, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on this because I don't know if it's entirely true. But I'm pretty sure it's mixed and mastered by the same guy that did Not Loose.
Really?
Yeah, I think the guy that did the Laughing Tracks. And
explains a lot because it's a well-produced album.
Yeah, let me just double check that. We've got Google, so I'm pretty sure it was mixed and mastered by the same guy that did Not Loose's album.
We couldn't find it, but either way, it is very well produced.
Yeah, couldn't find it. You know how hard it is to find who mixes and masters. Google. It should be just a quick.
It's not something that is displayed very often.
No, but it should be just a quick Google. Like, all right, with this guy. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, I'm pretty sure it was because I saw an interview. And I'm pretty sure it was the same guy. Amazing album. Amazing album.
Really good album. So, in a way to conclude it, it's an amazing release by Fit for an Autopsy.
Yeah.
I've seen, especially Matt Heafy's proper repping it up. Yeah, he said it's one of the best albums in the last 10 years.
As well. Gary Holt,
yeah. This band is getting a lot of love, and by God, they deserve it. And I've seen them live. I think they're supporting Sepultura, and I can't wait to see them supporting Die Out. Oh my God!
Yeah, you could have seen them this year as well, but we won't get into that.
We'll get into it. To conclude it, I think the only criticism I'd say is the two slow songs in there, which is More Unloved. Whilst I do listening to them, I can't say there's actually a bad song on the record. I just feel like they're very misplaced. I agree with what you said about every song flowing into each other quite well, but I felt like them two songs just weren't placed in the right section because they were not at the end, they weren't at the start, But they were like the middle right, if that makes sense. If I'm thinking it like visually, and then they do kind of build into the heaviest songs on the album, which is like Birds of Prey and Warfare. Yeah. But I think they would have been better near the start, or better as like a concluder.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that.
Although I gotta say, Napalm Dreams, like with that melodic bass and like just the way that kind of like wraps up everything that they've brought into this album and everything that they might continue to do. I just feel like maybe them songs should have been placed in a different section because they're not bad songs. They're just
I get what you're saying. My one criticism. I love this album. I really love it. But my one criticism is that it kind of feels like they held back a little bit, in a sense. And by saying that, I feel like they had loads of ideas on what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I feel that they kind of, because of the fan base that they've developed, which is, a good fan base of people who love and support them. I think they kind of did want to be like, well, let's just do some traditional deathcore, just so they don't.
A nice transition.
Yeah, and rather than just going fuck it, balls to the wall. This is completely different to everything that we've done.
I mean, that could be like seen as two different ways, but I feel like it is definitely more swinging towards what you said. Because in some ways, I think maybe they could be like, okay, well, we still love to make deathcore, like we still want to incorporate that. We're just thinking about a way that we can mix in with this new sound that we're trying to bring in. Or, like you said, it could be possible that they don't want to upset the fans. So it's like, right, okay, here's some deathcore, but soon we might become what we're trying to do.
It's not a bad thing at all. That
no,
it's like if you wanna, when you make music, you obviously want to make music just for yourself. But then you also want to make music. Once you've got a fan base, you kind of want to keep that fan base because they're what keeps you afloat.
Exactly.
And a lot of people are either like, no, you sound down, or no, it sounds too different.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like, because they kind of just want to do something else. Like when you're a musician, you don't want to stick to one thing.
It's going to feed in well to our big topic, isn't it?
Yeah, this is good. What a brilliant transition. However, here's my rating.
Let's get the rating. Go on.
I'll give this 4 deathcore albums with a skull on it. Out of 5.
Go on.
Did you like my little?
I do like that. I give it 4.5 breakdowns out of 5.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So
amazing album. And you know what? Both these albums, 2 bands in 2 genres that really don't like to go out the ballpark. But then again, they thought, fuck it. We don't care what people think. Let's go for it and see what happens. Yeah, and you know what? It worked well.
Yeah, it worked so well.
You don't need to rehash the same things that you've done.
Definitely played outside the comfort zone, and you can listen to it, and it shows, and it's like something so good. It's exactly what the genre needed to kind of bring more life into it. So over deathcore bands, if you're watching this, step up your fucking game.
Okay, so this feeds into our next topic. So obviously bands can change over the years, or bands can stay the same. The question is, one, do they owe it to the fans to stay the same, or to change for the fans, or should they just experiment with music and see where it goes? So let's kick it off. So let's think of a band like maybe Opeth to start off with.
The beer went on the laptop.
So they started off in the 1990s as like a death metal band. And after watching like lots of interviews with Mikhail, like he doesn't really listen to much death metal anymore, and that's why. And they've always been a band that have changed the sound over the albums, and people either stuck on board with it or they haven't. And a lot of fans have been thrown off since he's like didn't do the harsh vocals anymore, and it's gone a bit not softer, but like not traditionally heavy.
Yeah, it's not like
it's dark heavy.
It's not like you're like, oh, fucking brutal, fucking brutal, mate. It's kind of like you kind of. I listen to Opeth to chill out, really.
Yeah, and there's different albums for different things. Again, what you mentioned with Metallica.
They changed at a certain point. They went from like thrash to with a black album, sort of trying something more like rocky, innit?
Yeah, a bit rocky, yeah. But do you think that like bands should keep the same formula? So a band that keeps the same formula, like Slayer, for example, they've always been the same. like sometimes they have like a different change in sound, like Repentless. You know, they introduce some slower songs. I mean, there's always been some slower songs. Like you've got like Seasons of the Abyss. You've got When the Stillness Comes and stuff like that, which is like a range of different songs. But they've always kept the same Slayer formula, and I feel like if they were to ever, well, not that they are going to anymore, but if they ever did venture out,
I mean, let's face it, possibly ever venture out. Like,
yeah.
How long has this tour been going on? I love Slayer, and I love the fact we've had opportunities to see him so many times. But I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like we're gonna get.
I feel like, you know, when I went to Manchester, and I'm like, this is the only time I'm gonna be able to see Slayer. And like a couple of months later, it's like, they're playing Download. I was like,
knew it.
You know what I mean? I was like, oh.
So how many end of the road tours has Kiss had now?
Yeah, I'm like. I feel like it's not even a bad thing. I don't think people, like what people have been saying on the internet, like, oh, let's just stay there and make money. I don't think it's that. I think it's just when you're on the road, you start liking it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, fuck it, let's just.
No, you know what as well? It's when they probably get home, they're like, oh, I miss being on the road now. So
yeah,
you might hate it at the time, but then when you miss like being like the stature of a band like Slayer, knowing that you've got crazy ass fans that go mental for you, that fucking write Slayer carved into their arms, like. You're going to want to see some of that again. You don't just want to sit at home with a cup of tea and think, right, this is done me, I'll put Corey on.
Yeah. You know what, as well? They're all family men as well.
Exactly.
So can you imagine going home and you got screaming kids and then you're like, oh, I just want to be back on that fucking plane.
Fuck it, Repentless Tour version 3.
Fuck it. I'm going on tour. I imagine a lot of musicians use that as an escape, you know. You know, like when there's like a lot of shit going down at home, like the kids like, oh, the kid's going through teething. Fuck! Tour!
Fucking hell, Tom, we haven't done the washing again. Right, like, fuck it, Gary, come on, let's go, let's get the boys.
His missus is like, I fucking told you to take the bins out. He's like, right, Gary, we're off on fucking tour again.
Yeah, so do you think that, like, bands should change the formula or stay the same? Or do you think they should keep the same formula and then incorporate different elements to make it sound different?
Yes and no.
Go on.
So I think with some bands it should be welcomed. When their music is starting getting stagnant, change it. Right?
Yeah.
However, there's some bands out there that band sounds never really get old, like Motorhead.
Yeah.
Most songs, Slayer. Yeah, and Slayer. So I think it's finding a good mix. If you've already got a good existing sound that you feel isn't going to go stagnant, keep it going. However, don't be opposed to trying to at least change up a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you've already got that thing, the old saying, if the bike's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
If very true, if you've got an already existing sound that everyone loves, why change it?
Exactly.
But if you're one of those bands where it's kind of like, especially in like a certain genre, there's a lot of genres that kind of get stagnant. Change it, and that's all. Because I think, like, you know, like Not Loose, they breathe life back into hardcore, yeah, and that's because they're different.
Yeah.
Because what you found hardcore in is that a lot of bands didn't change up the sound, and you just got copy paste to that band, 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 and then you get a band like Not Loose on the scene.
Yeah.
Changing everything. Now everyone's like, fuck, we can incorporate all this shit into our music as well.
Do you know as well? I feel like, especially when a genre was created, you get bands that there'll be like a few, maybe like a wave of bands, so like Black
Thrash Metal.
Yeah, you get those iconic bands. They've all got their signature sounds. And
like,
then the bands...
if Anthrax decided, yo boys, let's make a slow album. You'd be like, no. You know what I mean?
But yeah, so like, I feel like a lot of bands that come after those, like maybe the first four, they all just want to jump on the bandwagon and they're like, let's be this. They might change it up halfway through, but then they'll be like, okay, we want to be in this scene. We want to copy what's going on. And there's so many copycat bands out there. But at the same time, you know, and you get resurgence. So like thrash metal, for example. Like there's been a lot of good thrash metal bands, especially in the 80s, but there's a lot of bands...
It's not been changed though, as the genre.
No, it hasn't been changed a lot. But then you've got Municipal Waste, Warbringer, all these bands coming out, and you know they did change things like Municipal Waste, added in the hardcore, a bit of punk in there, and I thought that worked pretty well.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. But yeah, I think sometimes there is a change needed. Yeah, but I also think that sometimes maybe if the bike's not broke, don't fix it.
You know, actually, no. I thought of a good thing to say about this. If you're a band that's got if you hit the ball rolling with your own sound, like maybe the first band of that genre, or maybe just in general you've just got your own unique sound, then fair enough. You don't owe anyone to change it. But if you're just coming along and you're copying else somebody's material and their work, then perhaps you don't. Then perhaps you should change your sound because otherwise you're not going to set yourself apart. And I get the reason. I get people maybe go into like a genre like I don't mind if all these bands sound the same as this other band because this is what I like and this sounds good. So
yeah, I think that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. I think that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Is you need to really look at your entire sound as a whole and go, can we improve? Yes or no? If the answer is no, just keep going. Or just retire. Like, you could do what Bob Thrower did and be like, oh, we'll release this album, this best album we're ever going to do, so fuck it, we're just going to retire.
Yeah.
Or you can go, let's keep going, and then if people get sick, then we'll retire.
Yeah.
But I think you can be like, no, we could improve. How can we improve? We'd like to add this, and add it.
And in a way, I think, I don't think bands owe it to any of the fans. To change the fans is because people don't like it, because it's their art at the end of the day. They've laid the bed and they're happy to lay in it, and that's fine. To a certain degree, yeah. To a certain degree, like obviously sometimes you've got to pay homage to your fans, and you've got to maybe at least. I don't know, but then at the same time, it's like
at the same time. I'm talking from like a fan's point of view.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, fans can be pretty pissy.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck me. It's like you can't. The saying goes, if you can't always make everyone happy.
No, absolutely not.
So I think if you're a band that you want to change up your style, just do it. If the people that like you enough, they'll stick around. And the people that don't like you, fuck them. You don't need them.
And you find a lot of the time as well, like a band will change the sound from one album. Like, say Megadeth, for example.
Yeah. And
like they released that Risk album in like 1998 or something, and it was pretty album. But yeah, I mean, I don't criticize them for changing up the sound.
Yeah.
But then they went back after a while to the raw original sound, and it's like, okay, fair enough. Change your sound if you want to. And I think when you're at a stature of that band, it doesn't matter if you change the formula because you've already made a monumental or a few monumental albums. So you whatever you do from there is up to you.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, if you're a band and you, like I said before, if you want to change your stuff, don't be worried. Don't be worried about the fans that you're going to lose. Be worried about the fans that you're going to keep.
Exactly.
That's all you have to worry. Because at the end of the day, if someone's willing to stop listening to you and be like, I hate them, or the fact that you just changed a couple chords around.
In a way, the more a fan of maybe one or two albums than they are of the entire band.
I think to a degree, when you like a band, you're kind of making a statement going, I like the people in this band.
Yeah.
Not just, because at the end of the day, it's
not the art, yeah.
Not just the art, you know what I mean? I like the people. It's like if, Malevolence is my favourite band. If they went, I'm going to make a slow album, I'd be like, I'm down for that.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Because I like them. I quite like them.
And I wouldn't fall off the wagon with a band. Just if they made one album that I didn't like, I'd be like, okay, well, what's the next album gonna be like? I'd be like, at some point, they might make an album that I like again.
I think after they've made 3 bad albums, you can kind of go,
okay,
maybe not. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I completely hear you there. So I think overall, it definitely depends on the situation and the band, but bands shouldn't owe it to any fans to keep the same formula just to please people, and experimenting should always be in there.
Yeah. 100%.
Or if you've got your sound and it's uniquely yours, keep it, because you don't have to change for anyone either.
Yeah. If you want, and also if you're watching this and you're one of the bands that kind of want to change up the sound, just do it, mate. I genuinely think at this point in music, just don't even be bothered with genres. Just don't even be bothered. Don't be like, I want to go for this one specific genre. Take everything that you like, even if it's the two completely opposite ends of the spectrum, mash them together in practice rooms, and see what comes out. Exactly. Because that's what my band does.
That's what Magic does.
Yeah, that's what my band do. And we at the minute, we're quite happy with the music we're starting to write and put together. Shameless little plug there. If I would listen to my band when we release stuff, please. Would it be bad if I shouted my own band out at one episode? Fuck no, I'm doing that. No, but genuinely, if you want other bands, just mix everything that you absolutely love in there and just see what comes in.
Exactly. So what about the news then?
Oh yeah, so what we got is, for the news, we've got Rage Against the Machine getting back together.
Good news.
Oh my god.
I mean, that was a big news. I did not see this coming because I'm pretty sure like fucking Zach De La Rocha and Tom Morello all hate each other.
I don't think they hate.
But then again, if Guns N' Roses can get back together, Rage Against the Machine can get back together.
Don't bring up Guns N' Roses. Let's face it, when they got back together, you kind of like, when that kid that you don't like, it's a bit of an idiot, makes a fucking painting and you're like, oh, that's really good, and you kind of hang it on your fridge, and then as soon as that kid leaves, you kind of take it off and go, fuck that, throw that in the bin. That's what that talk felt like.
That does make a good start. Yeah, that's a good point. But Rage Against the Machine getting back together, I'm pretty stoked about that.
Oh yeah, nah. I'm so buying tickets.
I know that it's going to be a fucking extortionate prices.
Is it bad though that I'm thinking about going to America if they don't plan a UK one?
Really?
Just straight up, I want to see him that bad.
Yeah,
I love Rage Against the Machine. They're one of the first original bands I ever listened to. I remember when I was in high school. No, actually, I just finished high school. After I just finished high school, my mate Brad, not you.
Yeah.
Brad. Turned around and was like, oh, have you ever listened to a band called Korn? I was like, no. So I looked at a Korn. I didn't even looked at a Korn video. I didn't listen to the order or anything. But it popped up a Slipknot video.
Mm-hmm.
And I listened to that. And Slipknot was the first ever band I listened to. But then, also popped up and suggested. And it's Rage Against the Machine. Second ever band I ever listened to.
Oh my god. Were you really impressed from the get-go then?
Yeah, immediately. I had, the full... What's the album called? I'm really bad at remembering albums. It's not that I'm like, I'm a passive fan. It's straight up, I just can't remember the names. But the one with the Monk's Bird?
Yeah.
Listen to that all the way through every single day, walking to school. For about a month.
Nah, honestly, they made some monumental albums. And, yeah, I mean, in light of that... quite obviously, Prophets of Rage had broken up, and they were a great band, and
they had a good
and because especially at the time, I thought that Prophets of Rage was the only chance of seeing whatever was left of Rage Against the Machine together, and it was a really good show. They played Download, and they got the crowd going. They played not only some Rage Against the Machine, but they also played some Public Enemy as well, so that was really cool. But yeah, But Rage Against the Machine getting back together is even better. So,
do you think it's going to be for one tour, or do you think they might make a new album?
I think for one tour. I'm pretty sure they hate each other's guts.
No, what's really funny that I kind of feel like why Rage Against the Machine just popped up.
Right.
Now we all know, anyone that's listened to Rage Against the Machine knows that this is a very, very political band. Yeah, and we're in one of the fucking weirdest times. Politically.
Yeah.
At the moment in general, and one of the most hostile times. I reckon Rage Against the Machine seemed like a band that would write a lot of music about that.
Absolutely, well, they're very political.
Oh yeah. So can you imagine the material they've been sitting on?
Yeah, and you know what?
I reckon
Prophets of Rage as well, because they were covering a lot of the relevant stuff that was going on. So I think Rage Against the Machine, right, we need to do this as Rage Against the Machine.
I reckon that's why they've come back. I 100% think that's why they've come back. They've been like, Jesus, there's a lot of shit's happening.
Loads of shit at the moment.
Yeah. No, I think they've been like, a lot of shit's happening. I think it's kind of time for Rage to come back.
Absolutely.
And I'm so buying tickets. Without a doubt, I'm seeing Rage Against the Machine next year. I don't care. I reckon they're going to... Here's my prediction.
Were you buzzing when they came back?
I was looking at it and I was like... Because I heard My Chemical Romance will come back on. Big whoop. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. That's right.
I was like, I really don't care. And you know what? Everyone was freaking like, oh my god, My Chemical Romance are coming back. And I was kind of like, well, there's no band that I properly love coming back.
And then all of a sudden...
And then the next day, Rage were like, oh, by the way, we're coming back too. And I was like, yeah, fuck you, My Chemical Romance. This is the real shit.
Absolutely. But yeah, stoked for that. Can't wait. And lastly in the news...
No, well, not lastly. We've got 2 songs. Oh, yeah, no, we already covered the... Yeah, we've already covered Prophet. Brad snuck it in behind my nose. As of... This is probably going to be really old news. But... By the time this is uploaded, tomorrow, which is going to be the 8th, Ozzy's apparently releasing a new song.
So you know what we could do? It was a very good song.
Yeah,
just assume
it's a really good song. Let's do 2 versions. It's a really good song. It's a really bad song. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So I felt wrong coming out of my mouth, you know.
Let's be honest. It's not going to be a bad song.
Let's be honest.
Let's give it a go. Yeah, as you can see, Nathan really likes.
As you can see, I really love Ozzy.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I felt wrong saying that. I feel really bad now. No, it's gonna be a good song. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. What if it's like an extended version of the feature he did for Post Malone? It's like an extended.
I'd be okay with that.
I'd be kind of like, oh. Nah, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, I'd be okay with it. Cartoons could be good.
I was about to say, now big topic, and I was like, we've already said the big topic. I put it in the wrong order.
So yeah, kick us off with the band shout-outs.
Band songs and shout-outs. Right, what have we got for them today, Brad? What have I got for him? Right, I've got something very, very, very nice for him. Have you ever heard of a band called Guilt Trip? Yeah? If you haven't, go fuck yourself. No, but straight up, this band, they're not actually quite a small band. They're actually quite an alright sized band. I've only just started listening to them, and I haven't been able to stop really. I'd honestly listen to Thin Ice by Guilt Trip. Because they're kind of like a freshy sort of hardcore band.
Yeah.
And it's so good. Like, I'm not even kidding. Well put together, well made. And they've just got some breakdowns and riffs that just make you want to kick someone's nan in the face, if I'm honest.
Exactly. What more do you want?
And then my second one is Malign, Suffer. Now, Malign's a little beatdown band from the UK. And I quite like Malign. You know, we've seen them.
I really enjoyed them.
Yeah, we've seen them live. You know, all the blokes as well.
Seem like sound blokes.
Super sound blokes. With Braddon. I'll give Braddon.
And you know, they came in and they stole the stage.
Yeah, 100%. I was opening for Black Tongue and I still was like, wow.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they opened for Gassed Up and I came out and like, yep, my line are going places. Braddon, one of the soundest blokes I've ever met. Jack, also one of the soundest blokes. By the way, little thing for Jack, he put on Spicy Fest 2019. I didn't personally go, but from what I heard, it was really good. However, I'm definitely going to Spicy Fest 2020, which is being confirmed for pretty much the same time, and it might be 3 days. So
it's pretty spicy, so make sure to bring that.
But yeah, in 2020, if you're around Sheffield, around the area, go to Spicy Fest, mate, because it's going to be fucking sick. Because from what I've heard from people, I couldn't make it because I already had something going at that day, so I just couldn't make it. But yeah, from what I heard, it was really good.
The boys are going places.
Yeah, the boys are going places.
Absolutely.
And you know they're all sound lads. So yeah, check out Malign Suffer. Now, Brad, what are your suggestions?
So, one of my suggestions is actually going to be Conjurer. I went to go see them at Key Club, and it was a really big one to go see them at Kalen.
Okay.
And so, my band shout is going to be different, but I thought I need to plug in Conjurer because they're an upcoming band, quite progressive. I know that Rivers of Nile, they took them on tour in North America. I've also listened to them on the Jazz Share, and you know, a lot of bands are really picking up on the sound. Like when I went to go see them, it was just like I was captivated from the moment I went to go see it. And the album Maya that they released is fantastic. I'm just going to shout the entire song, but if you read the entire album, but if you want to listen to a few songs, like Hollow is really good. You can definitely see the influence between like Gojira, Opeth, Mastodon, But imagine all those best elements put into one band. They managed to create an atmosphere at the same time with just the sheer brutal breakdowns and complexity. And it's fantastic.
Well, Caleb sent me a couple of songs on it. I really enjoyed it.
Honestly, I bought a shirt. As soon as I finished watching them, I was like, you know, when you see a band, you're just like, I need to buy a shirt now.
Yeah.
And you know that it's going to like a good cause, and you know it's supporting them. So I know that bands will pick up on them.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I'm waiting for the Matt Heafy shout out because I know that eventually that motherfucker's gonna fucking shout him out.
Send it to him. Send Matt. Send the podcast to Matt Heafy.
Please, Matt. Please.
Please. You know that means we can tag Matt Heafy when we post this.
She was like at Matt Heafy. Every single post we do.
Every post we do, that's Matt Heafy. Matt Heafy.
I'm down for that, to be honest.
At Matt Heafy. Matt Heafy. What was your other shout out?
My other shout out was Blasphemer, Suicide for Satan. These are pretty much they're quite a new band, but they incorporate the old school death metal sound.
Yeah.
And again, you know, sometimes you wake up in the morning and you know you don't need anything complex. You just want a fucking, like you said, something that you can kick your nan in the face to.
I didn't say your nan. I said a nan. You're just taking it to a new level. Why do you want to kick your nan in the face? I said a nan. So that means any woman that's a grandmother.
Any
not
grandma.
your nan.
Right.
Jesus, Brad, you fucking monster.
Right, so you walk into Sainsbury's, scenario, you walk into Sainsbury's, you're about to get your morning coffee, and fucking Muriel is taking the piss to get out of the shop, and you're just I know the song, it's Suicide for Satan by Blasphemer, fucking Crowdkiller, out the way, out there. Know that it's a band that you can crowd.
I've never seen anyone go, Crowdkill.
And yeah, so like, that is the kind of song you want to listen to. It's just straight out on a slot.
But before you hit Miriam, do you actually shout Crowdkill and go?
You don't announce it. It just happens.
But she don't know what that means. She's probably fucking deaf. She can't hear.
It doesn't matter.
Shout, what's that?
Move off. Suicide for Satan by Blasphemer.
Yeah, and like that. You know, like you hit her and it's like that vulgar display of power.
Yeah.
Like an old lady's face. Right. It's what you were saying. I'm sorry.
Winter's coming.
Yeah, we're just saying, you Miriam's out though. Just you wait, winter's fucking coming. Next time you take the piss getting some cigs, I'm going to kill you.
If Blasphemer's on, get out of my way. But yeah.
I've got to admit though, Suicide for Satan as a name kind of sounds like what an emo kid would write in his notebook before he shoots up a skull.
Absolutely.
This is Suicide for Satan.
So remember, listen to Blasphemer, don't shoot up skulls.
It's
like one of those like.
It depends if we've got it coming.
Brad says, "Don't do this." It's like that no smoking thing at the end of a cartoon.
I like how you have to tell people.
Don't Crowdkill Muriel.
I like how you have to tell people that now. Remember, don't actually shoot up a skull.
Don't shoot up a skull. Don't kick an old lady.
Old lady might have it coming. The old lady might have it coming.
Yeah. So there are our shout outs. That comes to the end of the podcast.
I think this has been a good episode, don't you?
It's good. Give us a like, give us a like, give us a share.
Give
us some fucking money because I'm very poor.
Yeah. This podcast needs a bit of money, to be fair. The production value might fool you, but we need money.
Yeah, exactly. And soon we're going to be sponsored by Punk IPA. I can't wait.
I honestly don't think that's ever going to happen.
That's probably not going to happen.
But we do drink a lot of this shit.
Exactly. I'd probably put more money into this than I'd have on my mates.
What, on just Punk on IPA?
Yeah.
Really?
No, I'm joking. But yeah, don't shoot for skull, don't kick Muriel. And listen,
have a good night.
Listen to Guilt Trip. Listen to Guilt Trip. Listen to Malign. Listen to Conjurer.
You said what did you say? Malign?
I said Malign.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Malign. I was like, who the fuck's Malign?
Shout out to Malign, whoever you are.
Whoever that band is, Malign. Anyway. I'm Brad.
I'm Brad. We're all Brad. 117 being. And we'll catch you next time.
See you in a bit.